I'll wait. Good. If I'm all right, just let me know. For some reason, it just want to act up all of a sudden. It just want to act up all of a sudden. I'm gonna let it work itself through. Yes, no, maybe so. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Of course. Let's see who up in here early. There's 19 viewers. I'll wait. I'll wait. Beautiful time to be alive, right? Beautiful time to be alive again. Again. Shout out to Brian King in my super chat before I even came on the air. Brian, bruh, if you knew what it take to go live from this perspective, then you'd be sweating. I'd be sweating up under my arms like, no. I'll be like in the movie The Matrix. I'm like, Neo, every time this shit happens, no. Even me, no. Nigga, you supposed to know. If you was around me, you'd be like, but you, nigga, it's still no. The fucking moment. You still get the feeling of no. Don't let these motherfucking entertainers fool you. That shit's scary as shit. Press one to press go live, and all you motherfuckers is waiting. Press. That's some scary shit, man. Like damn. And then it ain't like some like clout chasing type of shit. Even though we like the views and we like a lot of people to see the show, of course, but it's not about none of that shit. Ain't like what they call clout chasing or nothing. Maybe Coffee and Kush TV at night. Maybe that's clout chasing. But as far as Cav Road University, yeah, it's about something else. You know? Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Brian King, for being there and supporting the broadcast. And shout out to Said for the information you put out there. Amanda, Brittany's out there. Shiva's out there. Brian, Taj, shout out to you for being in my Cash App early, getting those shout outs. Just get that shit out the way. Shout out to you guys for making sure this program runs smooth. Blessings to you, Melissa, for being new to the role and being new to a student. And shout out to your man for putting you up on game. That's what's up. El Chuco, good to see you still out there, bro. All cities are made from incorporations. The subject finna be bullseye. Well, yeah, but yeah, of course. I'm not saying this stuff for you to be afraid of all states or whatever the incorporation. I'm not telling you this stuff to be afraid for you to be afraid. Like, damn, we you about to be free from incorporation at the rate you going, at the rate that y'all raise. Y'all believe in incorporating not only yourself but making up frivolous incorporations of shit you side hustle with. So I don't know. I don't know. Peace, Kev. Hope all is well. Oh yes, bro. Yeah, everything is well. You just go, Mando. The thing is, sir, King Oz, is you go through epiphanies in life. Like, why the rabbit hole keeps going deeper and deeper when you it's supposed to stop, right? Like, no, not the travesty that this Russian, German, USSR collusion federal government system, who's ever controlling it. Because again, it's never the system. It's always the people at work. It ain't the fucking cashier. It ain't the fucking register fault. Motherfucker, this person got bills to pay and want to steal out the register and don't know where the money went. That ain't the register's fault. That's one. I believe if you work for people and if you work, well, don't give a fuck what you call it, in servitude, whatever the fuck you do it for a buck, whatever you building in these buildings out here for a time. Whatever you want to call it in your time, bruh. You feel me? You got some money in your pocket and you going home. You know the propaganda? Happy wife, happy life, just American dream. This is what a lot of people come to this country for. Press one. The American dream. Kiva Ross says, "You got this, brother. Don't ever stop speaking true." I don't know. I don't think. I think. I think. I won't. Fuck it. Yeah, I won't. I ain't gonna even get too technical with it. Fine. Thank you, Kiva. I appreciate that. This shit remind me of like remember Hancock when that nigga had to learn how to say nice things and shit. Press one. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I think that's what I'll be suffering from, like the loneliness and like being alone and shit and chilling. Like, oh, you forget to thank you, Kiva. Keep it simple. Thank you. Gracias. She gave me two heart emojis too. Shout out to y'all. Amanda says the never ending story. Well, of course. It just keep going and going and going like the Energizer White Rabbit Bunny. Press one. This motherfucking story just keep going. Now we don't found. It messed up my day because I'm about to freestyle, right? How the Russian and German ruse and how the Pope incorporated the world, right? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, right? I'm ready to fucking go. And I'm sitting up here. I'm up. I've been up since I planned this show last night, fucking first of all. And I got this show ready to go for class. 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock. I'm waiting. And then boom. The T.A. Gillespie explosion. Since we're studying these random acts of, and then somebody of explosions going on all over the nation in the 1900s, right? All these catastrophes that's like going on now, trains and chemicals and what the fuck. So thinking about all this family, and then this came up. It put me back in a higher state of mind, going back and thinking about what about that Gillespie shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we was working so hard on that, and it's just like everything is there, but then you got this one of the, if not the biggest non atomic warfare weapon explosion ever on the planet Earth, right here in America. And of all places, it got my name all in it. So of course I'm like, oh my goodness, not this. I go on and read looking for Andrew. Press one. I start looking for everybody. Like, damn, look at this. So we gonna go back and I think that's where we left off yesterday, and then we gonna begin the discussion on the Russian and German ruse and how the Pope incorporated the world, but really African Americans, and switched the places of you with Germans and Russians. Now they're nationalized Americans, and you're a black foreigner. They need to go back to Africa. Same thing they're doing now. You got it? When really you are heirs to lands you don't even know. Listen, when the Bible say stuff like you are rich, but you are poor, but I know how rich you are and stuff like that. I think that's in Revelation. But thou art rich. Press one. You don't even know. That's the code. That's how ignorant you are. And a whole switching of reversal and following my name. All of this, you might be able to do the same for yourself and uncover different parts of history where we all begin to open up this grand. They got us locked into a minimized pattern of thinking in their world of compartmentalized, distractive ass false theater of history made up through artwork, and you come from Africa, from a slave. Man, hell no. You ain't gonna get me. Press one. I'll be damned if I live my whole life like the rest of you, just taking the word of what Rockefeller Foundation taught us. Hell no, y'all tripping. Not growing up with all they great grandchildren out here talking about Rockefeller. He controlled America. They Illuminati. Press one. Tupac was right. And if he can think free, so can I. Shit. I mean, that's what America is. to think free. And shout out to you, Fletcher. Shout out to you. Hit that like button. Shout out to y'all. Let me see. Let me see. I got something special for y'all today. That's the cold thing about it. So we're gonna continue on from this explosion shit and pay attention. You know, one thing you gotta do is pay attention to timelines because again, remember, World War I, World War II, the stock market crash, all of this is war, in my opinion, in America, and not Walt Disney made up theater of war. Press one, and I'm so glad they put an end to the Rat Kingdom as a corporate fucking sovereign nation. God bless Cavro University for bringing that up. That hold up, where my face at? Let me put my face on it. God bless Cavro University for bringing up. They need their sovereignty snatch. How dare you, press one? That's what we told them. How dare you have a sovereign state? What's wrong with you? Yep, give it back. Whose ever sovereignty this puppet government is using, give they shit back too. Press one. And whoever's buried over there, they let the people know we fucked up. Press one, get ready. Fucking Disney. Ooh. That's the one thing I asked last year. Remember? Ooh, the Rat King. Y'all forgot. Y'all forgot. I'm here. Y'all manifesting nonsense like catastrophes in your own life. Nigga, I'm over here manifesting the end of the Rat Kingdom, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? Press one. I'm super melanated man on earth. Press one. If I was in the conscious community, nigga, I'm the king. Press one of the Egyptians. Nigga, I'm manifesting this shit. Quit acting like I'm just a regular ass, basic ass YouTuber and give me mine, Humbo Cat. Get that nigga Kev his, bro. Cut on the varsity team, the sophomore, the juniors, and he helped the freshmen to the U, bro. Press one, you give a fuck. None of them say. All of them, all different levels at the same time. Nigga, fuck that, nigga. I'm taking, if you don't give it to me, I'm taking it. Press one. I'm taking it. Fuck it. Hit that like button. Hit that like button and subscribe, man. Hell no, this is some good info, y'all. We've been right. Let me say this. We've been on the right track this whole time. We've been set. What says hey? Kev over here setting sail and shit got us all on a boat. Press one and look at where how far we came with no navigation, just compass, just no navigation, just God and talking about it. Press one. Time goes by, puffing on life, singing with me, hoping that it gets me high. Got a nigga going crazy. Press one. I feel crazy. That's gonna be my chorus class right there. Karaoke, real nigga music, and real R&B. But that's later on in the. That's Kev Rowe. That's Kev Rowe. So let me show y'all this. Let y'all know this was. I think this is different from the other one, but I didn't know this was shit was called T.A. Gillespie Company Shell. I don't even know who brought this up. Maybe it was Taj. Maybe it was Said. Maybe it was what. I don't know who brought it up. Shout out to you. I went looking for it as I was waiting for the show. Somebody sent me a different video. I haven't seen this yet. But I said, why not? We'll watch it together with the show, with the audience. So I'm gonna bring this up and kind of watch it with you guys. Why not, right? Take your handy dandy notebooks out, or maybe you want to be like me and just memorize it all. Press. I don't give a damn. Discipline yourself. Press one. I'm telling you, it's better if you write it. But some of y'all are advanced and just flow. So dates are important. What other things in the world at the time is going on? what happens right after these things happen? Is this commercial time even correct? That's for us to figure out. That's for that's God gave us this. I got to talk to the conscious community. Watch out, Christians. God gave us this melanated power. I'm sorry, God. I'm new to this. God gave us this melanated power, bro, and these chakras, bro, and y'all just gonna sit there and wish. I'm using all my chakras. I'm using all my melanin. I ain't even got my, I'm brown. You got more melanin than me, and you got dreads. I'm bald headed. And to you Israelites, I don't even got sideburns like that. I ain't got no superpower clothes with the shit hanging off, bro. I'm all out of step, and I can do it. One. I got all my orbs. One. Turn them, turn them goddamn cards over. Yes, right there. Right there. The king, the king, the king, the king, the king, the king, god damn it. Press one. I won, I won, I won, damn it. Press one. Y'all retarded ass. Press one. And to you, Divine Nine. I see you niggas too. Press one. I gotta give a shout out to you, motherfuckers. Y'all held them keys real swell. Press one. I see you too. Press one. Gotcha. Press one. Kev Row. That shit like death row. Press one. Kev Row is death. Death row, nigga. What you thought this was, nigga? Toughen up, man. All fucking girls and shit, nigga. Nigga, nigga, you gotta make some dance steps too, nigga. You gotta be cool as well, nigga. If not, we gonna end up like them old black conservative, Republican ass, fake ass. Press one. Controlled by lobbyists. And you don't be like them lames and them flat nosed lames. And press one. Peter. Press one. You don't want to be like them. Who they put their whole trust in Peter. Jesus told Peter, I'm gonna give you everything. Press one. I'm gonna give you everything. You know, I'll deny him. Press one. Peter is a Christ denier. Press one. Are we correct? Press one. Peter is a Christ denier. Oh, they fooled you big time. Woo! They didn't just get me and the Gillespies, they got you too. Yeah, bro. You was nah, bro. So don't make up stuff. Don't make up nothing. I'm really on point right now. Nobody can mess with me, bro, because I'm mentally, spiritually melanated. Nigga, right now I'm like Venom to fire Spider Man. Press one. Nigga, I'm Kryptonite to Superman right now. Press one. I'm Apocalypse and motherfucking X Men right now, and motherfucking Professor X at the same time fighting myself. I got algorithm. This shit like Space Jam, and y'all watching the game. I got algorithm in an invisible chokehold. There's nothing an algorithm can do. Press one. I'm learning to follow all rules and regulations. Fucking them up. It was like a Royal Rumble. Press one. Be mad at me. October 4th, 1918. The Gillespie Press one takeover. That's what this is. Don't be mad because it ain't a Sonnetter last name out there. Don't be mad. Press one because your little incorporated made up LLC don't have any. Press one. Land is impossible. So now you incorporated yourself and now you stuck and federalized forever. You may get deported. Y'all not sure of your life. Y'all may get deported fucking around. Let Dan Calloway tell you motherfuckers you live on the back of a turtle and flying around the universe. Press one. I couldn't let y'all go out like that. Press one told my black people they had feathers in their head. I went against the grain and was shooting bows and arrows while other people had guns. Press one. That ain't true. No, that's just marketability, and that's a federalized concept. So they make a lot of they can legally make a lot of money off your deceptive, long as long as it's in time immemorial. You live on the back of a turtle, fine. Fine. What's your name? One fine, cause you free. How many language did you speak? How many words is in your language? Six. Press one. Six. 6 words in your language. 6 of them. Hi, bye, marry me. That's 2 words. You wasted all your little Nintendo power-up coins on. Fuck, you fucked up. You ain't signed no contract with 6 words on it. Press one. See, but once you know that, all that shit makes sense. Once you know the Pilgrims was just yesterday, you like, what was the fuck was the Indians about? If they wearing the same clothes in 1492 that they wearing in 1882, but they ain't no goddamn advancement on no goddamn white people. That's a made up story. Though ain't no civilization lasted that long on Earth wearing the same style and clothes since they was pilgrims with turkeys all the way up into 1935. Bars. And press one. Nike ain't came out with nothing. When was Nike made? Bro, get the fuck out of here. Lying. The fuck you wearing the same goddamn tile, a boot? Press one. Ain't no nation on earth wearing the same style of boots and clothes. But let's get to the facts. Let's get to the facts and how am I feeling.
1918, a massive explosion tore through the building 611 of the T.A. Gillespie shell loading plant in the Morgan area of Sayreville, New Jersey. The munitions plant building, which was heavily staffed to produce munitions for World War I, was flattened, killing everyone inside. Worse still, the fire was quickly spreading to the other buildings in the compound, which were equally bustling with activity and stocked with enough explosives to cause severe damage as far away as its neighboring state of New York. The clock was ticking for more than 1,000 workers at the loading plant.
Now, wait a minute. We have one going from New York to Pennsylvania, and this one is from. Where is this?
And the surrounding community. The gunpowder manufacturing industry had deep roots in this area of the country, dating as far back as 1805. The locals were well aware of the hazardous nature of the business. Many 19th century stories exist of gunpowder explosions maiming and killing those who worked with the volatile substance. Intense care was taken in the handling of it, but mishaps were not only prepared for, they were expected. Just 13
Don't this look familiar? Don't this destruction look familiar? That's crazy.
years prior to the event at the T.A. Gillespie shell loading plant, on November 21st, 1905, an explosion occurred at International Smokeless Powder Company in Sayreville, killing 4. Though the dangers were well known, disasters relating to the industry peaked at a time when the nation was at war. During World War I, the munitions field was in full effect, supplying the troops overseas. Of course, the increase in production alone should be.
I'm gonna stop this right here, because this is the perfect example of 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 war, and my war games is more dangerous than this war right here going on with them shells going off right there in front of them. Press one. That's what I was saying about propaganda in movies and stuff like that. The shit you gotta watch out for. This is exactly what I was talking about right here, right here. Oh, bullshit ass war.
Expected to lead to more mishaps due to the
That nigga threw a grenade like this. That motherfucker got to be 3 feet in front of him. Watch them, watch the soldiers. This shit retarded.
troops overseas. Of course, the increase in production alone should be expected to lead to more mishaps due to the sheer volume of the material being handled. And an increase it certainly was. The demand for munitions was almost.
Look, now check this out. These motherfuckers is wearing. I'm sorry, world. I'm sorry, but these motherfuckers is wearing the same clothes as the army of Hitler. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Now I'm talking damn at the present one. These motherfuckers got on them clothes them Boy Scout, nigga, Girl Scout clothes, bro, with them hats. I ain't even gonna front. And that's why I be thinking at the time, was the Germans over here? Well, to come to find out, you guys, the Germans was over here fucking shit up in World War I and II. In fact, I believe that was World War I. Just like I've been telling us this whole time with my excellent hypothesis. Press one. This is my excellent hypothesis. Them motherfuckers won the war. They really played the video from World War I as World War II, reenacted it and all that shit. Here y'all go. The real war was the Great War, pre-World War I, all the way leading into World War I, and it looked nothing like motherfuckers throwing grenades like this. That's LGB in the military at that time, and we all know they wasn't allowed to. That was a joke. Just more proof of the lies. Help me here. Help me help you. Help me help you. There you go. Oh my goodness, this is insane, bro. Help me help you, bro.
Unachievably high. However, outside of normal occupational dangers, there was another serious concern: sabotage. The fear was so great that munitions plants in Middlesex County, which employed a total of 5,000 workers,
Look how the sabotage man look. Just like everybody who came up over this bitch. Looking around funny in these videos. They all got the same clothes. You know why? Because it's just what I said in my hypothesis. These are military people, not regular people walking around smoking cigarettes. I'm about high and by, just walking around in New York in 1903, and y'all got this shit on video. These are sabotagers. This is the military. But you playing around, dancing to the beat.
were secured by armed guards. One well-known event that is frequently considered the work of saboteurs was a train derailment on July 31st, 1915.
Now, everybody got to do their research on this right now. Everybody go do their research, because we all know our people was lost on trains and never to be returned some damn where. Press one. After being evacuated, we do know there were bombing sirens that will quickly evacuate land and people at that time. So don't play with me, bro. And this is the problem we're having. July, everybody open up a new tab if you can, on a new side of the computer if you got another monitor, and just do your research if you can.
The train car was carrying munition workers to work at the powder plants.
Told you.
Spikes left on the tracks caused the train to derail. While a few were injured in the crash, fortunately, none were killed. There were a number of other events that also created concern that sabotage was taking place. One significant example was an explosion in Eddie. Sabotage was taking
What type of military boys are these? Look at this. When I tell you what, them Boy Scouts.
There were a number of other events that also created concern that sabotage was taking place.
Boom. Gave they ass a place to dwell, didn't it? Here you go. Come over here and take some photos. Just like little Ukrainians. They're going to be right there in Ohio in a minute. What? They're going to be right in front, right in there. What the fuck did you think is going on?
One significant example was an explosion in Eddystone, Pennsylvania on April 10th, 1917, which took the lives of 139 individuals and injured more than 100 others. It should be noted that while many disasters at the time were attributed to work of saboteurs, it's difficult to say for sure which were and which of them were simply accidents. There was certainly good reason to believe that these events were done intentionally as acts of sabotage, and several of them actually were. But some people push back on the notion, stating that many mishaps were the result of poor working conditions and that sabotage was a convenient scapegoat for businesses. Regardless of the reason, the loss of life that resulted from these disasters was nothing short of tragic. On that autumn evening in 1918, catastrophe would strike again on a large scale. It was 7:40 p.m. when a violent explosion shook the grounds. The resulting inferno raced toward the plant's other buildings. Quick action was needed. The plant's fire company arrived in just a few minutes to battle the fire, but their hopes were quickly dashed. When the firemen connected their hose to the fire hydrant, it only produced 10 pounds of pressure, well short of the expected 116 to 290 psi. There was insufficient pressure in the hose to create an adequate stream of water to fight the blaze. The first explosion likely burst the water supply pipe to the plant's fire hydrant. The explosion also knocked out power to the entire plant. In complete darkness and with no water, the impossible struggle began. It was obvious that the first building was a complete loss, so the firefighters switched their focus onto building 621. As they advanced toward it, however, a second, more violent explosion occurred, throwing the first responders 15 feet backwards. Subsequent explosions became more frequent, forcing rescue to retreat. It had quickly become far too dangerous to enter the area. Firefighters from surrounding towns rushed to the plant. However, they were also stopped due to the immense danger of the situation. The only people who were allowed into the scenes were clergy. It was pure chaos. Buildings of the plant.
Oh. Only people who was allowed on the scene was who? Catholic priests and nuns. And this is very interesting.
Entirely demolished, survivors retreating into the surrounding swamps, making their way to the nearby highways. Explosions echoed through the darkness, while priests administered last rites to the dying victims of the blast.
Yes. Sounds familiar. The swamps, the alligators. Yes. It all feels so real.
People who were allowed into the scenes were clergy. It was pure chaos. Buildings of the plant entirely demolished, survivors retreating into the surrounding swamps, making their way to the nearby highways. Explosions echoed through the darkness, while priests administered last rites to the dying victims of the blast. As luck would have it, the Coast Guard station nearby quickly became aware of the situation and rushed into action. 75 Coast Guardsmen from Perth Amboy made it to the scene in no time. More than 100 additional members of the Coast Guard were summoned from Staten Island, New York, and other surrounding areas to aid in the disaster. They quickly took control. Putting themselves in extreme danger, they evacuated nearby homes, tended to the wounded, towed away the Coast Guard barges that were in harm's way, and perhaps most heroically, removed a train fully loaded with TNT from directly in the path of destruction. In fact, the train was so close to the event that the rail had been damaged by the explosion and had to be repaired before the train could be moved. That evening, they displayed tremendous bravery. Witnessing death firsthand and being bombarded with exploding shells, they persevered, working diligently throughout the night and well into the following day, likely saving countless lives in the endeavor. The explosions were immense. Homes and businesses were damaged up to 10 miles from the plant. The day following the event, as the flames were
Hey, Taj, what's the damage range on a cup cannon fire of shells raining in? What's the radius of one of their big ones? I believe it's a mile. It can shoot from a distance and cause damage from 8 to 10 miles wide.
still spreading, a plane piloted by airmail aviator Robert Schenck left an airfield in Philadelphia to survey the damage. In his own words, upon reaching the location, he was met with a massive column of thick, greenish-colored smoke. He described the scene in further detail that conveyed the dread of the situation. The roads between South River and South Amboy seemed as busy as Fifth Avenue. They were black with people. Hundreds of autos were racing along in both directions. With a following wind, I was making perhaps 120 miles an hour. In 2 or 3 minutes, I was flying over what the day before was the world's largest TNT shell plant at an altitude of 4,000 feet. The place was unrecognizable. The whole 8 square miles that the plant covered was one vast volcanic crater of dull red flames,
See that?
bursting shells and bright flashes as one magazine after another went sky high. Big, cavernous holes told where a magazine or shop once stood. Between me and the earth was a ragged bank of vile smoke. In all, approximately 100 people died in this disaster, and more than 100 others were injured. 325 of the plant's 700 buildings were destroyed. The explosions left several enormous craters, a few 25 and 35 feet wide, but one crater, caused by the detonation of 1 million pounds of ammonium nitrate, left a crater about 150 feet wide and 30 feet deep. It was not just the T.A. Gillespie plant that was damaged, however. The entire city had felt the effects. The evening of the explosion, the entire city eventually evacuated. Upon their return, they found
Look, more pilgrims again. More pilgrims. But we're going to get back to this. We're going to get back to this.
that most houses were structurally sound.
Here comes the Red Cross. Here they come, clergy.
But were missing windows and had noticeable superficial damage. The Red Cross coordinated assistance to the devastated city. Churches, police stations, schools, railroad stations.
This is all Germans, bro. It's Nazi takeover, bro. Press 1. Give Gillespie a hand. Shout out to Tapped In Podcast. Salute to you, Chief. Keep bringing the knowledge. Detroit Trapped In. Shout out to you, Trapped In Podcast. He's also trapped in the Channel 54 and he attends Kevro University. Press 1. And in his pastime, he watches Kevro University. Shout out to you, King. My man, do you understand? I got you. I got you. Why you think why I take so long to come on the air? Cause I'll be up in the house like this. Oh my God, 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 oh God, I don't want to watch nothing. I don't want to watch nothing. I want to watch it with my audience. And I want to take my time. And I want to talk a little shit to those who left Kev Row. Press 1. You feel me? You can't never leave Kev Row. Once you in Kev Row, you in for life. You can act like you not watching. You can act like you not in class. I see you behind them books. I see you studying. I see you looking with your looking ass. Press 1. You always welcome right here at the road. That's what make us special, because we don't give a damn. Press 1. We don't give a damn. You coming back. But guess where you start? You start below the freshmen. Press 1. Now you gotta have it because you don't know nothing. You've been fooling around. Now the freshmen know more. Mm, mm, mm. But you can clearly see trapped in the podcast. Press 1. You can clearly see the deception here at the the Gillespie plant, right here at the fort. Press 1. And I think it's called that because that's the owner of all that shit. So hey, you get see that's some other shit. We'll talk about that. But you can see a whole takeover subversion. Where Todd at? Todd, do you see the ideological communistic subversion? Boom. Oh, Red Rose. Get back right now. That's a whole army. Put forth by who? What's the title? The Pope incorporated the whole world. Damn. Damn, bro. And you know, this is some crazy shit because these clothes are still pilgrim again, just like I said. There's too much pilgrim going on here. Y'all, they look like they was taking back roads and rural roads. Not that the roads was there was no roads paved. It looked like they was just taking back roads. I know when you go through California, you got them back roads and long road. They're still in America today, ain't they? Just dirt. They probably set a whole motherfucking propaganda. Probably shit. We're proving they set a whole propaganda machine to just take these. You only seeing what you're supposed to see, what they want you to see. That's it. It's like a family reunion right here.
A previously abandoned hotel and other such buildings in the community were set up to provide temporary housing for the more than 1,000 dislocated citizens.
Tents and shit.
As the catastrophe took place at the same time
There
as
go
the
your Indians. Press one. The Indians and you. Only time there was tent people living in tents is the Eskimo, Asian people way back in the day, and the Red Cross. We ain't never lived in no damn tents. I don't know where y'all getting in. We was Indians and had feathers in our head and lived on the back of a turtle shell, floating around in the universe with no law, no nothing, didn't invent nothing, just living. Nigga, please. You was a Babylonian.
infamous Spanish flu pandemic.
Look, 1918, Spanish flu pandemic. Uh-oh. 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 What was we teaching about the Red Cross and the Spanish flu and all that stuff that was going on in 1920? And then all of a sudden, all this shit start happening in 2020 all over because y'all not listening. You're not listening.
Severe illness was a significant concern for the crowds of the newly homeless. This disease would add insult.
You hear that? For the newly displaced people, nigga, they're going to run right into our arms. Who I tell you commit the genocide? The Red Cross. Knevny Christ. Press one. Somebody spell it correctly in my chat room. Don't no other YouTube page even think or come close to this shit. Say it with me. I know a lot of black people was just right. Knevny Christ. It makes you sound German, don't it? Yeah, the Knevny Christ. Yes. You go there, you burn. Huh, my friend. Press one. You go to the Knevny Christ and the Red Cross. It's a Holocaust. Press one is Catholic, French, German, Nazi. Holocaust, they know like black people. They burn them up in furnaces and shit. Press one. Hit that like button. You know it's true. The Nazis burnt them up. Now you know why you in that. I'm telling you. We need those names, bro. We need to get in Zion, bro. Come on now. Wake up. Everything I've been saying is right here, family. I got a caller. I got a student. Maybe a bright student at that. Cairo University, Channel 54, hashtag the bungalows. You on the air? What up?
Hashtag the bungalow. How you doing, good brother?
What's up, champion?
Long time listener.
Go ahead.
Long time listener. Called and spoke to you a couple times, a couple years ago.
Yes, sir.
I just want to touch base with you again. Hey, I really respect what you do. I honor what you do, and I really respect the fact that you in the scripture, brother. So at the same time, with that being said, the planter and the waterer are one. So when I lay the script down to somebody, and you lay the script down to somebody, our words should unite, regardless. So it's all good. But what I wanted to do was, you own, brother. You so own. I want to give you this. Remember, in 1803 was the Louisiana Purchase. So from New Orleans all the way up in the middle, it's either Spain or just France, right? So the people, the Negroes in, let's say, Oklahoma, Arkansas, all those are Spaniards, which you've touched base on that before.
Yeah.
But if you go to Fort McComb and Fort Proctor, you'll see our forts that was right down there that are abandoned right now.
Okay.
That are like off the coast, that are maritime. So, but peace to you, honest to you, and I'll check you out and talk to you later.
Shout out to you, champion. My man. We'll get to that. Shout out to you. Blessings, champion. Blessings. But this is a beautiful thing. Red Cross. Do you see the infiltration? Oh, I'm so glad I got you on the boat so you can roll backward. Press one, looking forward. Ooh, that's the breast. Ooh, that's some Shutter Island psychology shit. So you can see history projected correctly in front of you right there. You just keep rolling backwards and you can see the timelines in front of you. Kind of like a television set. But it'll be coming from you, so you'll feel that. You'll feel connected and you'll be in your mind. It's nothing
Unknown caller.
tangible that we doing. We just imagining. You fucking with a nigga who don't brought your imagination forward. Coffee and Kush TV, Cairo University, the bungalows. You on the air? What up?
Yes, sir. Peace, Kevin Skies, man. How you doing today,
I'm
sir?
blessed, man. You see this? Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, T.A. Gillespie, that. Remember I was talking about this yesterday. The deeper and deeper I got into that, man, it was crazy. And going back and listening to yesterday's show, remember when I said something like the 616? I was saying like the wrong number. And then I came back and said it was 611 in the chat.
Yes.
The way that tied everything in together for me, I don't know if you remember exactly what I'm talking about, but man, that mistake right there, it opened up everything.
What, the 616 and the 611?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because it
Yes,
wasn't a
sir.
mistake. It was supposed to be pondered upon by you. That's why. Go ahead, champ.
Yeah.
So what you mean by
All
all
right.
this? Get us as excited as you are. Go ahead.
All right. So the more research that I did, because I had came across it the day before, and I was like, what is this? I need to bring this to Kevin's attention so I can ask this question. And it ended up getting lost in my notes. But then I started going into it. The question I have for you, sir, the 616, is that the true number? Is that the true mark? Or the beast, let's say, rather than 666, because and I don't even mean to sidetrack, because this
No.
super
Yeah,
duper
but
epic,
you're
but it's all together.
see, that's the thing. You are. Let me ask you a question. What made you say
Yes,
that?
sir.
What made you say that? What made you ask if that's the real mark of the beast? What made you look into that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what made you say, wait a minute, not 666, 616, oops, 611. But then going and probably researching what? What did you do to make you think 616 was the mark of the beast?
It started with the 1666. It all started from the Cesse Trust Act, and then it started, you know what I mean, looking into Revelations, and I wanted more information on that. So the more and more I looked into it, and man, trust me, man, I don't even want to go super deep on this part right here in particular, talking about the gematria. I don't like messing with the numbers and stuff like that. But I just started seeing what people were saying relative to that number.
Yes.
And that caused me to go deeper and deeper into that. It's like some of the things that, and it's almost like they speak in a code when they're mentioning these names, and it's almost like, you know how they speak in front of us with the legalese. It's almost like they be sending messages with certain stuff that they're doing. Would you mind if I read some of the things that they equate that number to?
Well, let me just tell you right now on Wikipedia, you might not even need numerology and just needed Wikipedia. It say the number of the beast is associated with the beast of Revelations in chapter 13, verse 18 of the book of Revelation in most manuscripts of the New Testament and in Old English translations of the Bible. The number of the beast is 606. 66 are these Greek letters right here in Greek numerals X, E, C, 660 and 6. And then 60's big because Shitty Cuz just got 60 years. But papyrus, which is the oldest preserved manuscript of the Revelations as of 2017, as well as the other ancient sources of the Codex Euphorium rescripts, give the number of the beast X something C, and translatable in Arabic numerals it as 616, not 666, but that's Arabic. But I'm saying you may be onto something there, and that's not the first time.
And they talking.
Go ahead.
And when you said the Phoenician Canaanites, it's like when we were talking about the Phoenician Canaanites.
No, but
it's like,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's all tied in. It's all tied in, Kev. Like you said, they all the same people, and according to them, that's the number of blasphemy. Not only the number of blasphemy, also the number of ritual sacrifice.
Well, that's the number. Well,
also,
that's really just
the number for Jake.
But that's really just the number of the beast, to not confuse yourself and go into just different things for no reason.
Trust me, I ain't going there.
As it's just as simple as that. The number of the beast. So what's the
right on? I'll leave it there.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to find more, and you're gonna come to the same conclusion. Then you'll be insane. You'll be an insane genius running around. 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2. All right. 2 + 2 got that 4. You're right, but get out there. So it's all good. It's all good. Trust me, I know the feeling, champ. I know the feeling. This shit is out there. So maybe I'm just, as my friends say, here to make you think. Nothing more, nothing less. You feel me? Open and expand and realize, God said the whole world gonna be deceived. So it's up to us. The pastor ain't gonna help. The priest ain't gonna help. The Buddhist ain't. He just sitting there saying nothing. So we just gotta keep. We gotta do it. Press 1. Fuck it. Anything else, Jay?
Oh man.
One thing I wanted to talk to you about was, what do you think about me proving the Nazis were used as, the army was used as the Red Cross to subvert our communities?
They said it's not the right.
That was man.
They said it's not the right.
All right, grab the other one. I definitely, like, it go back to when you played the guy that was speaking about ideological subversion, the Russian guy, the way he laid it out, and the way that's exactly what happened.
But more than that, I'm talking about the genocide effect of it. So you got these people fleeing these cities of bombing, running right into the hands of the hospital and not making it out. That's my whole point. Is
they spreading diseases. Yeah, they spread and they were spreading the diseases within the camps and everything. They was doing everything that was on the propaganda, the Liberty Bomb propaganda that was talking about starvation.
What if that was the Holocaust?
That was it. It was definitely it.
Because
Like,
if the Red Cross,
if the Red
Cross is Krevny Christ, and that's the concentration camp.
Right on. That's exactly how I see it. It can't be. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm to the point now where that whole thing that they get so upset about if you're a Holocaust denier and stuff like that.
No, I'm a Holocaust supporter. I'm a Holocaust supporter.
Yeah.
I'm a Holocaust supporter. Yeah. No, we don't deny the Holocaust. My thing is, it happened right here.
No. I'm not saying exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like I'm upset about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm upset about.
I'm upset that people are denying the Holocaust.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Me too.
upset about.
Me too.
Yeah.
Ain't you?
Man, if you ain't, man,
I'm
I don't
pissed
know.
off.
You're on the wrong side.
I'm pissed off. A bunch
You're
of
on the wrong side
Holocaust
if you
deniers.
don't support this.
A bunch of Holocaust deniers.
That's it.
Could you believe that? I cannot, but you actually solved the equation, Taj. These are a bunch of Holocaust deniers. No, fuck that. No, you're right. That's why my stomach is laughing, because God laughs at shit like this. There it is. There this fool go again. Listen, bro. They are Holocaust deniers.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you
Kev,
can be
man,
on
I'm at
earth.
work,
Thank
man.
you,
Let
champion.
me fall back.
God bless you, champion. My man. That's all you had to say. They are Holocaust deniers. Say it with me. Those of us who had our heritage stolen, who paper genocide and genocide, press 1 in the early 1900s, there are Holocaust deniers. I know you never said no shit like that before, but you're going to learn it real fast right here at the Row. Kev Row. They are Holocaust deniers. We are Holocaust survivors. Press 1. I don't know about overseas. The law don't forces me to recognize nothing. Nigga, I know me. I know what happened to us. Press 1. And Ben Shapiro lying. Press 1. Ben Shapiro lying and just, get your ass out of here. But that's crazy. The number of the beast in Arabic is 616, which is crazy, because we were talking about 616 and all of this zooms and whams. But yeah, the Red Cross, the Army, a whole switcherooski. Remember, I told you it is the Red Cross. Hold on, John. It was the Red Cross who actually was doing the switching of names and giving the people their Christian names. Press 1 by way of Catholicism once again. Coffee and Kush TV, Cairo University on the air. What up, John?
What up, Kev? I wanted to call and add to the class what you on right now.
Go ahead, champ.
I've been intrigued about this, and I've been looking up the great players, J.P. Stalin, J.P. Morgan, and all that. And there's another key player, Vanderbilt, Cornelius Vanderbilt, down here in Tennessee, at the Vanderbilt College. He was the one with the control over the railroad system. And I was thinking they can't move if they ain't got logistic powers. But the railroads was there already with Vanderbilt. But Vanderbilt and this other guy named James Gould, I got a article I've been looking up. It's on the Atlantic.com. It's called The Story of the Great Monopoly. And I'll just read a little bit. I'm just going to give you a snippet. It says, the history is not yet finished, but the railroads owe stocks and bonds $4,600,000,000, more than twice our national debt of $2,220,000,000, and the tax people annually pay $490 million, 1.5 times more of the government's revenue of $274 million. James Gould was the guy who started an Erie massacre You got it's right on track with where you at. You got New Jersey was part of James Gould's extortion. Jay Gould, the wealth of the poverty of Erie stockholders. Basically, they sold all
Okay,
their
okay,
stock off.
okay, 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 okay. You're in a different time zone. Hold on, cause that's why I love it. I love the info, but this is just too much at one time when I'm focused on the identity switching and I'm doing my class. It's like you just call in and just talking about a different subject matter in a specific subject. So kind of keep it on the Red Cross, switching of identities, and the Holocaust, the Black Extermination Program, and stuff like that. Keep it in that realm of conversation if you can, champion.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I was just coming from that railroad system, the railroads, and how you were saying the blast cannons,
Yeah,
how they got those
what year was this?
into the cities
What year was it?
in the 18. This started in the 18. I have this one date. They just saying it's talking about how they started to take all of the railroads, but this is 1876, 1877. The anarchy came with them, social disorders, railroad issues where they didn't pay their employees. It's in the 1800s though. 1877, a strike on Baltimore and the Ohio Railroad in Martinsburg, West Virginia. It's like all right there where Vanderbilt was taking the railroads, working with J.P. Morgan,
Yeah.
and he was tied in with the government. He was tied in with our government, but basically all our government people was insurgents because in this article it says how they would stage those derailments so that a man could take over the
That's right.
railroad. They were
Because
monopolizing everything.
they would use it
They
as a
would,
crisis act, and then
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
JP would, Carnegie would stall out the
Watch it.
oil where they couldn't get the oil and
That's
shit.
right.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. I wanted to
That
add
was
into the show and
yes,
show that
sir.
I'm researching, but
Thank you, sir.
it's like them them four guys is in all in there together. I'm gonna fall back though.
Yeah,
Fall back.
I did a class speaking on that. The Masters of Disguise, but specifically J.P. Morgan,
Hmm.
the railroad industry, how he was selling weapons to both sides of the Russians and the Germans, and actually is in and it's treason damn near because they were selling to Nazis. But that makes sense now that you know the Nazis were here. But yeah, that's crazy. Thank you for the call, champ.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
man. Yeah, so it makes they were here. That was just a thought at first. That was just a hypothesis. Did these fools really come over here? And you look back and how far we come. So the Catholic Church was turning Germans and Russians into Americans and using them to subvert the government on some overthrow government shit. Press one. These became your police officers. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got the info. I got all the photos of them. It's all over the place. Okay?
A previously abandoned hotel and other such buildings in the community were set up to provide temporary housing for the more than 1,000 dislocated citizens. As the catastrophe took place at the same time
See,
as
if you say 1,000, motherfucker, you ain't got to say, motherfucker, 400,000. Nigga, which one? If you can make up for 1,000 and take a picture of 20 people, you can say any damn thing. If you just say 1,000, that's why in the other one, it was like, oh, but only 3 people passed away. Yeah, and I believe the city was evacuated. You're talking huge. And what? And then what? Boom. Red Cross, surveyors, all that come with Red Cross.
infamous Spanish flu pandemic.
So bam. All this is the same time period. You get hit there at the same time the 1918 flu pandemic. Who I told you was bringing the flu pandemic? I told you Fauci did it. So who did this? Let me break this down. When we was going through COVID, who did it? The hospital, fool. The doctors. That's who did it, nigga. The Red Cross doctors, where y'all go, supposed to get healed, and they start reporting and everything death and putting people on respirators, giving them who you think was doing it back then. And I already proved to you that the Red Cross are Nazis. Press one, especially at this time. Whoopsie. Press one. Whoopsie. I already proved that. I don't have to say no more. I already said the Red Cross, they are the ones. That's who you got. The infiltrators are right in your face this whole damn time. That's why I want that conversation right here at the Holocaust, the Black Holocaust, the unmentioned war, and the switching of identities. Press one. Now, here they are, and this is just one. There they are. You see? Y'all been bamboozled by uniforms. No, bruh, they together. They was switching identities. You know what that means? Changing their identity. This is worse than Operation Paperclip. Oh yeah, they just became Catholic and saved their soul. Next day they was an American with a Christian name, aka English. The reason why it's important because Gillespie, George W. Gillespie, George Washington Gillespie, right? Walter Plecker in disguise. These motherfuckers are good, right? This way this shit is important. Well, you got to know how identities and why they will need specific names and things of this nature to become alive. Okay? Remember the doll's role. Go back and do your research on they been switching names and stealing and placing you on different roles. You go back and check the Dolls Act in Germany. Listen, it's gonna all make sense once you start studying their history. You can say, wait a minute, this sounds like my history. This sounds like, I mean, they're talking about it, but it feels like me. So I'm actually mentally connected to it for some reason. Yet they're not really talking about me. You know what I'm saying? They're actually. But then the more you do your research, the more you begin to see it was all a fucking ruse. Press one. It's all a ruse. A war trick. And this was the greatest bamboozle of all time. Go back and check when Walt Disney was established. Silly people. Huh? Huh? Yeah, you didn't came to play today. Yes, you know you don't fucked up. Go back and watch. When the Nazis invaded. Come on, let's do it together. With your scary ass. Round one. Here, I'm gonna walk you through it. When did the Nazis invade America? Press one. When did Hollywood? Press one. Matter of fact, I got something to show you while you look. Yeah, your entertainment is your execution. But your weird self. Press one. We been sitting up here being entertained into our own demise. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna do the best I can to get you as much truth as I can. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no reason to. I'm looking for something specific. Give me a second. I got so much, y'all. I got so much shit. But it's starting to look like. Let me ask y'all a question before I do this. Let me ask y'all a question. Why George Patton look like who? What this motherfucker look like? What the fuck he look like? I just want to ask you, what the fuck your George Patton look like? We're gonna go back to that. Because remember, these people are playing roles big time, but it's something important I have to show you. I don't want to show you. I have to show you before I go any further. Donald Trump, Biden, nigga, all of them. Everybody. It look like all of them.
Thousand dislocated citizens. As the catastrophe took place at the same time as the infamous Spanish flu pandemic, severe illness was a significant concern for the crowds of the newly homeless. This disease would add insult to injury as a number of dislocated families became infected and several died as a result.
Boom. So you can become dislocated, bro. You can this oh my goodness. Do you get it? Can you see what's going on here? I don't know if you can see it. Displacement causes you to what? I proved it.
To injury as a number of dislocated families became infected
I got him.
and several died as a result. While the Red Cross provided much needed aid to the needy in the area, they were forced to divide their attention a few short weeks later, on November 1st, 1918, to focus on a severe subway crash in Brooklyn.
Oh my
A
goodness.
crash which would become known as the Malbone Street Wreck,
Oh my goodness.
one of the worst rail disasters
At the
in
same
the
time?
history of the United States. Immediately following the disaster, investigations took place to find the cause. Rumors of sabotage spread quickly. It did not seem out of the realm of possibility, as a German national saboteur had already been arrested and sentenced to prison for a previous attempt at sneaking in matches and attempting to detonate the plant. However, it was quickly determined that it was worker error, which was not surprising, as the plant's construction and operation were set up hastily to serve the war effort. Most of the workers were greatly inexperienced. Although there were immediate plans to quickly rebuild the plant, they were cancelled shortly after, as the war came to an end just a month after the explosion. This, however, created a new problem.
Wow.
The munitions sent overseas now had to be returned to the US. 18 carloads of defective shells were shipped to the plant with the intention of them being stored in the undamaged warehouse. Senator Thomas J. Scully, who was a South Amboy local, was vehemently against the arrangement and pushed back. Despite the significant efforts to clean up the area, the dangers of hidden and unexploded ordnance would be a terrible danger for decades to come.
What?
This issue would trigger a number of cleanup initiatives in 1994, 1997,
What?
and another nearly a century later in 2007. In each of the occasions, unexploded ordnance were found near elementary schools. In 1994 and 1990,
Ain't they doing that now? Ain't they on the news right now? Oh, they found a World War II bomb, and bro, this is about funding, bro. This is about funding, bro. This is insane. That the balloons, all of this is a replay of World War One. I told you when you go, you know that saying, you don't know where you been unless well, you don't know where you going unless you know where you been, because shit like this. That's why.
1997, they were found near Sayreville's Dwight D. Eisenhower Elementary School,
What?
and in 2007, near Samsel Upper Elementary School. Chillingly, the latter was discovered when workers were building the school's playground. While this significant piece of history has largely been forgotten and little information is available about the disaster, much of the information in this video was sourced from a book called Explosion at Morgan, the World War I Middlesex Munitions Disaster, which was written by local
Do y'all know the war stopped after this?
historians Frank Yusko and Randall Gabrielin. I do not know the authors personally, and this is not a paid advertisement, but I highly recommend reading it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video,
I'm gonna give them a like because mode of horror. That was a great introduction to a great topic. You see that? Oh, what a time to be alive. Some things you just can't like. What? And it's the biggest. They shy away from the biggest, y'all. 424-209-9506. Area code 424-209-9506. My phone lines are open. And once I go here, I'm not going back. Stay on topic. Stay on topic. This is gonna hurt. How many people up in here right now? Let me see how many people up in here. This is gonna hurt. This one's gonna hurt y'all. This one's gonna be a doozy. Press one. We got 281 people up in here. Everybody hit that like button. Let's do a like spike real quick as I roll this swisher and get ready for class. This one's gonna be a doozy. I'm gonna let y'all look at Walter Plecker real quick. Still working on them dolls, ain't he? The same dolls that brought Hitler into power. This fool over here doing the same thing. Busted. Busted. Hit that like button and subscribe. If you haven't contributed to this podcast, I still love you and thank you for taking the information in, at least bringing your number 2 pencil. Press 1. Shout out to the people on my Patreon. It's a beautiful blessing being able to get supported by such a group of people and allowing this free information, even though it's the real $1 million worth of what? Press 1, the real info. Thank y'all for providing for the students who just don't support or can't support due to financial reasons, whatever the reason is. I'm glad we are here to help. Shout out to you guys. Man. Shout out to y'all. All right. Let me look at the chat room, see if I get a call. I'm waiting on the callers. This is a lot of information. Where Ollie at? Ollie, where you at? Don't call in about the Bible. Ollie, will you call in, sir, about what? About this right here. We got him. Where Marley at? Riding around on that bicycle. Dreadlocks blowing in the wind. Press 1. Where is he? This is the most potent information. This is the type of information, bro. It's life changing. It's life changing, child. I can't lie. It feel good. It feel good. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's the best information I ever came across. I'm not gonna lie to you. And really, it was all about finding myself. I came over here. I'm over here just researching me and mine and running the class and all that. But y'all finna get that. It's okay. They're not. Ain't nobody MIA. They MIA in the class. Press 1, but they not MIA. They motherfuckers around here somewhere listening. Press 1. But right now, see, but we don't have time to look back. That's the thing about it. Shout out to them niggas. Shout out to my niggas. But we move forward all the time. And it just goes to show you, it's never like Nip. A nigga can't like sit and wait or You know, I'm here for you, but a nigga realize relationships hold motherfuckers back. And you want to get rid of, like Master P said, man, you gotta stay away from the shit. And that's just being real. Nigga got to stay away from it because it frustrates good people to try to bring people up, and then either not getting it or staying silent when they supposed to be the main one. So maybe not, maybe next year. But I'm saying it's shit different at different levels. Shit different at different levels. Hold up, call right back. Tell my caller to call right back. I got an excellent film for those who do contribute and do show love by uh, 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 participating in class. And I'm still waiting on information from these niggas. See, if I didn't just say fuck it and keep moving, I'd still be waiting on Ali. I'll still be waiting on my nigga. And that's just what it is. But I can't wait on that. We got to go. We got to keep moving full steam ahead. Hopefully they paying attention so they can be here with us. If not, hope they take what they learn and thinking about it. You feel me? But watch this. I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is not in our country. Press one. They finna explain something to you that I've been saying this whole time. But let's take a listen. If it wants to come on and play. So sorry.
Bienvenue à tous. Welcome to Reporters here on France 24. I'm Mark Owen. In this edition, we're saying hooray for Hollywood, how the US film industry became a tool of propaganda in wartime and in the process became a dominant and creative financial force worldwide.
Huh? Press, huh? Okay, so now it is a financial threat worldwide. Wait a minute, I know we was watching movies and shit. Listen, y'all not understanding what's going on, and this is why y'all need help. Maybe you are incompetent. I don't know. Maybe maybe you are incompetent. I don't know. I would be too. I used to be. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. You're just incompetent. You want to go from incompetent to competent. You want to understand all the words that are coming out of their mouth. Press one. Because words have meaning. My man said at the same time of the evacuation of not only this city and those cities surrounding, the Red Cross was there to capture them and put them in Red Cross camps and FEMA camps. Press one. Right around the time goddamn Spanish flu was going on, so they was showing up dead. That was the Spanish flu. Press one. You see, genocide. And who was with the Red Cross? Margaret Sanger. Press one. Well, women rights. This is about genocide. This is about a Nazi movement, woman. Stand aside. Stand aside. Stand down, damn it. Stand down. Sit your simple self down. But listen.
First World War saw the movie makers caught in the horns of a real dilemma. They wanted to keep their artistic independence. The US government, though, wanted them to tell stories that supported their political position. 100 years ago, the first American troops came to France. US involvement in the Great War provided a backdrop for heroic tales filmed and broadcast worldwide with the big stars of the day, such as Douglas Fairbanks.
Hold on.
Tales filmed and broadcast worldwide with the big stars of the day, such as Douglas horns of a real dilemma. They wanted to keep their artistic independence. The US government, though, wanted them to tell stories that supported their political position. 100 years ago, the first American troops came to France. US involvement in the Great War provided a backdrop for heroic tales filmed and broadcast worldwide with the big stars of the day, such as Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford. But did all this really amount to a cynical manipulation of the masses? 100,000 Americans were among the 10 million killed in the First World War. Hollywood didn't reflect the horror that they suffered, only the heroic struggle and the valiant success the system craved. Our report.
Continue.
Reports by Florence Gaillard with the voice of Brian Quinn.
It all began in this barn. In 1913, Cecil B. DeMille directed the first feature-length movie filmed entirely in Hollywood. It would be the first of many, with Europe soon to be engulfed by
There go y'all cowboys and Indians come from.
the Great War. American cinema was about to explode. (1914). The war is demanding every means of production in Europe. Men, women, factories, transports. But also medias, press, radio, photography, and cinema. At the same time in the United States, a movement is growing. Filmmakers, until then mostly located on the East Coast, are moving to California for its near-permanent sunshine.
With the outbreak of World War I in Europe, European filmmaking, which up to that point had provided Americans with roughly half their movies, shuts down. And so suddenly American filmmakers, who are entrepreneurs first and foremost, they suddenly see this enormous opportunity. Europe has stopped producing films by and large, and now we can not only capture the entire American
So much going on here, man. So much to say. Jeez Louise, man. Where's Karemio? Where the fuck are you? First of all, I'm fucking Indian, man. Oh my goodness, I'm fucking burnt out by you guys in these fairy tales.
by and large, and now we can not only capture
There's the World Fair is full of shit. What they
capture the entire American market, but we can begin to send even more films to Europe. The only thing that's stopping us is production. We need to double our production. And the way to do it is to go out where we can shoot almost twice as many days a year. That's why they come to California.
By 1914, Los Angeles is still a small
LT said 10 million sound real familiar. I was waiting on that comment. Hey, LT, very familiar. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say nothing. That 10 million hit different where, what is that? What the fuck? 10 million people die.
city, but it's booming. A key West Coast port, the former Spanish mission now has oil deposits side by side with orange groves. It's also attracting the
You heard that?
deposits side by side with. By 1914, Los Angeles is still a small city, but it's booming. A key West Coast port, the former Spanish mission now has oil deposits side by side with orange groves.
You know, there's the German, the Catholic cross. But look, remember they said the Catholic Church was in bed with the oil tycoons, right there with Rothschild. Now I mean with who's that big oil tycoon? Rockefeller.
It's also attracting the aeronautics industry, which settles into the vast open spaces surrounding the city.
Los Angeles in 1900 has attracted already a number
So it just looks like the Catholic Church incorporated the land and like stole the resources from you, and pretty much enslaved you and genocided as much as they could. But that's what it looks like.
of prominent business people, industrialists, railroaders, ranching magnates, and a constellation of those individuals imagine for Los Angeles a future of glorious metropolitan growth. So they see themselves at the cutting edge of the Westerning experience in American history. They've reached the edge of the Pacific, and they plan to build a magnificent metropolis here.
Their history is racist. It's all just
Early
I'm telling
filmmaking.
you, it was already here before 1913 and 1905. How are you building a new metropolis and Los Angeles and stuff in California was already incorporated? It's on a flag of 1845. So when you're not paying attention, a person will tell you anything. A person with a nice beard, they'll say anything. I digress.
Filmmakers who come here, they probably realize fairly quickly we can make this an entire scene. We can do anything we want with this.
Oh, we can make this whole thing over here an entire scene, like a Truman Show. Listen to me. After the destruction, oh shit, we can turn this into a whole state of production. Keep them in the illusion in real time. You want to see some Matrix type of shit?
We can make this look like the American South. We can make this look like biblical times. We can make this look like the rural American past. They've got a landscape.
This where they was doing the recording. This is not hard to, if you listen to them, they'll tell you.
Early filmmakers
Nigga, this where they went to the moon.
who come here, they probably realize fairly quickly we can make this an entire scene. We can do anything we want with this. We can make this look like the American South. We can make this look like biblical times. We can make this look like the rural American past. They've got a landscape they can play with.
AKA, we can make this look like our homeland and we can change and alter history from right here. The vast different landscapes in California all the way up, and then we'll make this shit look like Russia all over again. You got it? You got it. Your life ain't gonna never be the same after today.
The star of the era is Mary Pickford. Originally from Canada, she had been on stage since
Originally from where? She not originally from no damn Canada. Press what?
The star of the era is Mary Pickford. Originally from Canada, she had been on stage
Russians, Germans, Polish, and Slavics.
since the age of 5. To help support her family, she agrees to go in front of the camera, first for a summer, then another. In 1914, she becomes the first American actress to have her name on a movie poster.
Mary Pickford's character stood up to the bully. She fought for the underclass. Her characters all had a moral compass. They gave, I think, a generation of females in the audience an option to see people who, yes, you can stand up for what you believe in, you can fight, you can win, and you can most often get the boy in the end too. But it's okay to speak up.
Around the same time, a young Englishman is also making
Say it again. You're right. French. Thank you, Mosley. And most important, French. Press 1. You know, the French joined the Nazis. The Nazis are the French. The Nazis just wasn't German. They were French and Spaniard. You don't understand what this is. You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
making his debut in Los Angeles. Charlie Chaplin joins the team of Mack Sennett, a producer of short comedy films, each one lasting 10 to 20 minutes, filmed in quick succession. In 1914, Chaplin creates the character of the Tramp, a clownish outsider. It's an immediate success, first in the United States,
All the different Hitlers.
then around the world. The Tramp may be upending the establishment.
Look. Oh, they set y'all up big time.
Order, but his films stay out of politics. As the conflict heats up in Europe, American cinema isn't taking sides. No one wants to alienate their public, largely made up of immigrants, often coming from.
And those are just sides. Look how the posters are put up on the wall. Look at this. Watch this.
American cinema isn't taking sides.
Watch this.
No one wants to alienate.
Look at the posters put on the wall. Pay attention. Pictures say a million things. Press one. Them posters put up there like they not even supposed to be there. Press one. They put up over large sculptures and all this other shit. It's always some cover up. No, because in Harlem and all that. So let me tell you, these real light bulbs in these places and stuff like that. What happened? What was they covering up at this with all this circusry?
They're public, largely made up of immigrants, often coming from countries at war with one another.
I told you, press one. Did you hear that? They all coming from countries at war with one another and join the Mickey Mouse Club.
Isn't taking sides. No one wants to alienate their public, largely made up of immigrants, often coming from countries at war with one another.
No one wants to alienate their country, their public. Press one. Public trust, I believe, or something. They said that for a reason.
Often coming from countries at war with one another. 1915, Hollywood's first historical epic. David W. Griffith directs Birth of a Nation.
This where y'all get this shit from, him. He created, this is the king of the high castle. He done created history for y'all.
A film of over 3 hours, telling the story of the Civil War
and dressing up as black people, look.
The South's point of view, with blacks unworthy of citizenship.
Look. That's not you.
Abusive federal troops and a heroic Ku Klux Klan, defender of threatened whites.
Y'all been caught in the Matrix.
Griffith was explaining that during and after the war, white people suffered in the South. So thus they have...
I told you.
to have someone to protect them.
Now, them the good
that
guys.
Is why the Birth of a Nation was so controversial.
And look on them, the Red Cross, the Knights of the Templar. Press one. Y'all know what this is.
Still, to this day. The political issues is one thing. The other part of it is the technological mastery of this wonderful director, D.W. Griffith. The close-ups, the special
Got y'all.
effects.
Big ol' your damn war.
The movement of large groups of people. The Battle of Gettysburg, which was filmed in the San Fernando Valley. All of these things made this an epic film that people had to see.
The film is shown at the White House. President Wilson, himself from the South, is reported to have said, "It was like writing history with lightning."
Oh my, it was like writing history with what? Oh my goodness. Oh, this hurt. Hold me like the River Jordan. Yeah, I need to do lectures. I'm going to do lectures on this. Make sure y'all stay tuned. This changes and rewrites history. And I saw Satan as lightning. Look, this is deep shit here. And they changed this real fast.
In 1916, Wilson is in the midst of a re-election campaign. His promise, to stay out of the war and focus on the economy. The same year, Thomas Ince directs a big-budget film denouncing the ravages of the war. Its title, Civilization.
Civilization was seen at the time as a film calling for peace. And Woodrow Wilson used it in his
Oh yeah, the lightning on the SS. You're right.
1916 campaign, along with his promise to keep Americans out of the war.
A nigga can throw a pre-organized history and genocide a whole race and erase and tell their kids, this is your history. Press one. Tell their kids a whole different story.
That World War I was a war for Europe to fight, not for America. And Wilson told the voters, if you vote for me, you can be assured we are not going to enter World War I.
But the war is starting to inspire filmmakers. In his first epic, Cecil B. DeMille shows a British officer sent alone to storm enemy trenches. Joan of Arc appears to him in a dream to give him the courage to carry out his suicide mission. Only a few months earlier, a tragedy has turned American opinion on the war upside down. The Lusitania, transporting civilians and war materiel to Great Britain, was torpedoed by a German submarine. 1,200 victims went into the sea, including 128 Americans.
Of course, the United States feels like it's far from Europe until, mostly, German submarine attacks bring the war home through the deaths of American citizens.
Interesting. So now they're here.
So as those things happen, Los Angeles begins to pay more and more attention. But
Wayne, take up the sword of justice. Thinking of manifest destiny. This is the queen, the mother queen church, blowing the trumpet here. Damn.
there are plenty of people in Los Angeles in 1914, 15, 16 saying we have to get involved.
Then there's the Zimmerman telegram. In January of 1917,
Oh, not the Zimmerman telegram.
a coded message destined for the Mexican government is intercepted by British intelligence. Its author, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the German Empire, Arthur Zimmerman.
It says, in case the United States enters the war on the side of Great Britain and the Allies, that there will be an alliance between Germany and Mexico. And it creates a furor in the United States.
What? Fucking Spanish or Germans, bro. Allies, bro. That's why they speak French. Or Italian. And that's why the whites go under them in prison. Interesting.
The Zimmerman telegram reminds that the American Southwest had once been Mexican territory and could return to Mexican ownership and Mexican provincial government. That is something that wakes Southern California up to the seriousness of the war.
Uh-oh.
In the same period, Cecil B. DeMille directs The Little American with Mary Pickford in the title role. She plays Angela, who is trying to reach her elderly aunt in Europe. She embarks on a ship, which, like the Lusitania, is torpedoed along its journey. Rescued from the jaws of death, Angela arrives in occupied France. There, she witnesses atrocities committed by the Germans and picks a side, the Allies. On April 6, 1917, the American Congress votes for war, with 373 for and only 50 against. President Wilson must quickly adapt his stance.
He's now a man who has just a year ago promised to keep us out of war, is now plunging into war. So he's got to shift the entire opinion of a nation. So a week after he declares war, he creates the Committee on Public Information. And he appoints a former newspaperman, George Creel. He gives him one-line assignment: sell the war to the American people.
Already aware of its growing influence, George Creel calls on Hollywood. He asks the studios to produce films glorifying America and its government. It's a request that is, at first, rejected. Producers want to stay independent. So George Creel turns from the carrot to the stick. If Hollywood refuses, the government will limit the export of its films, recruit its employees into the army, and close its theaters in the evenings. A few days later, he gets a letter from the studios. They've changed their tune.
Well, we've decided that we want to cooperate with the government, and we will now be producing only happy movies for the American population. And so Creel wins. He's able to make sure that there will be no dissent in Hollywood. There will be no anti-war movies that will weaken the morale of the American people.
The stars of the cinema take pains to show that they are taking part in the war effort. 2 weeks after the vote in Congress, a National Guard unit called the Home Guard is organized in Los Angeles. Its captain, Cecil B. DeMille. Its flag bearer, Mary Pickford. On Sundays, the Guard unit parades on Hollywood Boulevard.
Now remember, it's all based on a show. It's all based on, we can make this. They already rewritten history. They already rewritten shit. So that whole thing was just chitter chatter. Because they're not truly in power. That's why.
And in downtown Los Angeles.
The Home Guard basically is Hollywood showing its patriotism. These were symbolic, of course, but they actually had real units trained by the real army at the Lasky Ranch, by the way, how to shoot, how to maneuver, how to do all of this, so they could be kind of like leaders.
What? So they're training an army.
You know, leaders not only making films about anti-war, about this, or during the war as propaganda for the war, but to be a part of the war.
Another contribution by big screen actors, the campaign for war bond subscriptions. Washington puts together several tours with Douglas Fairbanks, Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford, and the boxer Jack Dempsey. It's a success. Millions of dollars are collected.
And Hollywood stars, for the first time, use their popularity to influence the public. Admiring fans buy millions of dollars of Liberty bonds from their movie favorites.
Millions of people turned out for them. They had no idea. In the teens.
They didn't get those Liberty bonds from foreigners. Press one, this is a whole foreign army right here. Those Liberty bonds came from the people they exterminated. The Red Cross, which were fleers from Chicago fire, same story, Washington, Oregon, all over the place. Same fucking stories. People got to flee. Only the bank was closed. Only people were allowed to borrow and things of this nature. And now the foreigner is Liberty Bond?
Without television and radio and all of this, this really made them this international.
So they did all this. They raised all that money, equivalent to $10, $20, $30 million today with no television, no radio, advertising, no nothing. That's because it's fuckers. You know why? Because they didn't raise all that fucking money. Where they get it from?
Superstars. I guess you could say that the war did do this.
The collaboration between Washington and Hollywood proves lucrative. Beyond their films, the studios receive contracts from the government for newsreels from the front, war reports, and patriotic short films. Soon, the cinema has gone beyond the government's expectations, drifting into propaganda, clearly anti-German.
War, what wonderful subject for a movie. It's all kinds of possibilities for storytelling. And then when you throw in, come and hiss the Kaiser, and you have, the good guy and the bad guy is what movies are all about.
If the Soviet Kaiser is the bad guy, why do we have Kaiser Hospital as the people who administer medicine? You weirdos. Why? Because you are exactly the monster you created in the past. This don't even make no damn sense other than, what the fuck are we trapped in? You telling me these people run this right now today? I'm telling you, these people had kids, and it was what happened.
What wonderful subject for a movie. It's all kinds of possibilities for storytelling. And then when you throw in, come and hiss the Kaiser, and you have, the good guy and the bad guy is what movies are all about.
The films have a profound influence on young soldiers, who, for the most part, are discovering the cinema at the same time as they're being pulled into the war. Mary Pickford becomes the honorary
just so it happens.
patron for a number of armed forces regiments, from the Marines to the Air Force.
Motherfuckers made a whole history, nigga. And put that shit in film on your black ass. I knew I was gonna find the reason in the cover up. What the exact mechanics on how it was done. You know, I left the Disney thing alone because I got Disney in my back pocket. Freestyle. I got Disney beat. I told y'all what Walt Disney was. Did anybody come back with the answer about Walt Disney, please? When did they get established? I bet you it's right then.
The beginning of 1918, reality and fiction merge when the screenwriter Frances Marion writes Joanna enlists for her. In the film, her character urges the viewer to enlist and to finish the fight. Director David W. Griffith is
Dressing station, Red Cross. Oh my goodness, and there's the sabotager once again, looking like Dick Tracy. Press 1.
called on by the British government to make a documentary in support of the Allies. Invited to film at the front lines of the Battle of the Somme,
Here we
he
go.
includes his war footage in a drama that denounces German brutality.
Griffith actually goes to France and shoots scenes in the trenches. Most of the film was made in Hollywood, of course, at the Lasky Ranch. But the point of all of this is to show that women, families, children are suffering. When you focus in on the women of the war films, it becomes something of humanity that people relate to.
The First World War claimed 10 million lives in Europe, 100,000 of them American. But it also turned the U.S. into the world's premier economic power.
Boom.
It changed everything in this country. I don't think they ever would have projected this in 1914, but the war is incredibly beneficial to Hollywood because it has wiped out all competition from people who, in fact, were superior filmmakers.
Wow. When your ears are open and when your eyes are open, your ears are open, your mind, your heart is in the right place, then you'll be able to hear this. It's not like they hid this from you. This is public. You just sleep. Was.
Now have to play catch up. And they never really do catch up because, when the war's over, 90% of the world's films are coming from America.
In 1919, Douglas Fairbanks, Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford, and D.W. Griffith founded United Artists to protect their works. The studios now controlled the production, distribution, and exploitation of films. With the war, cinema became an industry. Los Angeles, its capital, its stars, important allies to Washington. From then on, Hollywood would be an economic and political influence, not just for the American public, but for the entire world.
That's how they held Hitler, boy. You better watch out. Coffee and Kush TV. I'm explaining to you, if you ain't got it by now, what world you live in, where you stuck at. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you to watch The Man in the High Castle for nothing. There's so much more. But I don't want to put too much on the people. 424-209-9506. That's enough right there for you to think. Press 1. You should be thinking all night on that one. That's some tough shit. Man, I've learned to take it easy, not to overdo myself. I've been on the air for 2 hours. And this was enough information for people to contemplate on. Carol at night got to start. Carol at night got to start. Press 1. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We got to start, so I got to get my rest. I got to get me some food in my system. And it's time to come back and talk about some real urban shit for my night show. But I really want those in the university to really think on this. Like, damn, was we defeated? Yeah. I didn't just bring you those shows for nothing. They beat you by way of propaganda, prosthetics. They beat you by the P. 3 P's, like a PPP loan. They beat you real smooth, too. Had a whole invading army ready to usurp the country. Ready to go. They was already connecting the German, or those people over there, was connecting what they call the Mexican on this side to also take part. That's how our boys got caught up defending against the Spanish War, because it was against Germans and them and all these foreigners from down there coming up. You know the saying, Hitler ran to Argentina. Well, that's South America. Press 1. So they trying to come up and do their thing at the same time. So I just want you to know where you stand. So you ask anything that's going on right here, you ain't heard nothing about you. You've been replaced by some Italian Jewish people. And history has been rewritten. And this is self-admitted. There's no plausible deniability when a person opens their mouths and self-admits. Press 1. Kev hurting on tacos. No, I'm not hurting on tacos, Duke. Press 1. No, I ain't hurting on tacos. I get real food, champ. Nah, bro. And even the tacos that I eat, they got soul food in them. Press 1. Yeah, so what you thought, no, that's why I tell you to pay attention. Pay attention. Stop worrying about what Kev doing. You thinking about some shit. Nigga, you too far. What shoes I got on? Press 1. That's why your brain fucked up. Too worried about this. I spend my life thinking about uncovering the histories to be able to teach it to the people. You worried about some damn tacos on Kev Road. Press 1. You tripping. Hit that like button. Ain't no tacos. Nigga, I eat good. Ain't nothing wrong with no tacos, though. Press 1. It's all about who making them. Nigga, don't be scared. Make a statement, nigga. I'm real. Clown. Press 1. 424-209-9506. Now I'm thinking about some goddamn tacos. Press 1. Niggas is really haters. That's all they do. They spend their time thinking of one thing to say to a nigga. Dude, Kev over here thinking about them tacos and that guacamole. Whatever the fuck niggas be thinking, they always backward. Press 1. Not in their wildest dreams they can see me. They just see a nigga on the screen and they trying to project they bullshit ass, boring ass life on me. Press 1. No, sir. No, sir. We over here solving the mysteries of life. We trying to talk about how they invaded. I don't prove that the American Red Cross was allowing the Nazis, the Russians, the communists to infiltrate the Americas by way of the Red Cross. I already proved to you that the Red Cross was also using the Girl and Boy Scouts, who also came from Germany. Press 1. So you ain't got nothing but a bunch of sabotage going all over the place. German and Russian sabotage. All over the place. Now, one of these terrorist attacks got nothing to do with us. These niggas worry about tacos. Not one of them terror attacks got nothing to do with us. None of them. The overthrow of the Americans. You heard her clearly say there was a prior system in play, nigga. We overthrew that shit with Theodore. And now, since they don't exist, there's nothing but American. And we're all American, even though she's clearly Italian with a Nazi flag 50 years before that. When she was a kid, she was walking around Germany and France like this. Did you see them little stupid ass buggy cars riding up with them shiny ass Floyd Mayweather boots? Her ass was out there like this. And today they in Hollywood. Press one. The Queen of England. Like this. Press one. She seen Hitler and stuck that arm way out there. Press one. Is she the queen? How did all this is just happen in the 1900s? Was history rewritten after the full takeover in 1933? When is Hitler's birthday? Come on. Wake up. I told y'all to turn that TV, y'all. Y'all watching the whole white supremacist breakdown in your face. And you addicted to it. So that's what they banking on. That's what they banking on. Shout out to you guys out there who support the broadcast. I could ask for a better support team. If you want to support the broadcast, go to Kevro, patreon.com / Kevro University. Hit that link up there or go directly to my Cash App. It's pinned right there in the chat room. Cash App, cash tag is Gills Gang. Let me get these shout outs out the way so I can get ready for my night show where we chilling tonight. I don't want to be caught up in nothing too smart. I just want to chill. Press one. Just chill. There's a lot of information, even for me. The type of information I heard him. That's why he over there worried about some damn tacos. Press one. Melissa, shout out to you. TC, Taj, and Jason Harris, and John Dreyer. Shout out to y'all for making this show possible today. God bless y'all. And of course, shout out to all my Patreon members, all top tier Patreon members. The ending credits is for you guys. That'll be up by Monday. You're just getting all the names up there. It's very like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of people. But at the correct tier, these are the people at the correct tier who actually gonna get the Patreon links to the Patreon only shows. Not saying I'm not gonna do Kevro University shows or nothing like that on Kevro University Live, but most of the information is reserved for my class. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all been blessed with open campus. But this is like USC. Press one when the gangbangers came on campus. Press one and fucked it up for everybody. Press one. We can close campus, man. Too many YouTube virtual troll criminals walking around the university. You know, our university is in these YouTube streets. Right up the street, all type of stupid activity. King AK Drive over there, Seti Nash Boulevard over there. No jumper that way. Young Pharaoh way down there. Nobody even know him no more. Press one. Hassan Campbell walking around up here looking for the nigga he was slapping around. My DJ Academics came way down here on the YouTube street. They're all losing. Press one. This is the only place where you can actually learn in the community and get stupid. Stupid. At night. Coffee and Kush TV. Make sure y'all stay tuned for Kevro